It's about that time.
City News, City News.
What's happening in your city?
City News, City News. City News, City News.
Got love for your city?
City News, City News. City News. Oh, City News, City News, City News. Oh, City News, City News, City News, City News. Oh, City News, City News, City News, City News. Oh, City News, City News, City News, City News, City News. Oh, City News, City News, City News, City News, City News, City News, City News.
Good evening. Welcome to another edition of City Views. My name is Jacques Weems, your host, here with my most capable co-host, the one and only Miss Melissa Crofts.
Good evening, everybody.
And she is looking very splendid this evening
Thank you.
with the attire, with the accentuations.
I have my hair in a ponytail and I'm wearing black. Every woman's secret.
And next to her is the one and only Mr. Wilbert Bowles, also known as Weebo.
I'm here.
Yes, but no hat tipping.
I'm here.
Now, there might be a few issues here tonight. As you can see, Weebo's representing the Mets.
Got the
and
shirt
me,
too. Got the shirt.
You see,
Shirt on. Got the uniform.
he's all in. But you know who the real kings of New York are,
Yeah.
okay?
That would be the Dodgers.
Oh my goodness. It's going to be a rough show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Rough show. Fisticuffs are coming. No audience participation, please. Keep that audience participation stuff to yourself.
No phone calls.
Yeah.
So easy.
We don't
to
need
get
it.
people riled up with sports.
Well, I
Oh my
mean,
goodness, it's hilarious. You guys are funny. I was in the line at the store one day. Some guy was wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. I said, "Great hat." The guy behind me wearing the New York Yankees hat, which I had observed. No, that's not a great hat. I'm like, it's
yeah.
mighty fine hat.
There's war
The
there.
next thing you know, and I could care less.
now you know.
It's very funny.
Yeah, just keep your thoughts to yourself now when you're in the
well,
stove.
you know, I am property of the LA Dodgers. So.
Oh, because they winning, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Check.
even know. I don't know.
They winning. They are winning.
In
Yeah,
fact,
good team.
it could very well work itself out that the Dodgers and the Yankees, may
Yankees,
be in this year's World Series.
That would kind of be really interesting, wouldn't it?
It would be really interesting, but I wouldn't, if I were you, go out and venture and get an LA Dodger hat or something.
You know,
like
I really
that.
wish that I had the sweatshirt that I had as a kid and
Yeah.
the finger.
The finger.
You know, those big styrofoam fingers.
Yeah, they have the games
Oh.
and stuff. Yeah.
And the hand. I said Dodgers or something.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
What did you have, like Tommy Lasorda on the back?
No, it was just a white sweatshirt and it was a hoodie.
Yeah.
Hoodies weren't all the rage back then. This was like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And with blue writing, with the Dodgers, you know, their font and insignia.
I'm surprised I opened it up for you like that. You know, I laid the Tommy Lasorda reference for a reason, and you didn't take the bait, Melissa. You're. I mean, come on now.
I did not.
You didn't take the bait.
I did not.
So, are you going to keep our audience waiting as why I gave the Tommy Lasorda reference?
I'm going to guess you brought it up simply because I had once known Thomas Lasorda Jr.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would buy.
And you're just going to cut it off like that. You're not going to go into any detail about.
I don't think
your,
I should. I mean, he was a lovely person, and he's since passed away. But you know, he was a lovely person, and I was very young, and he influenced me in a manner of graciousness.
Yes.
He introduced me to things that were beautiful, that I could attain and have beautiful
So
things.
he was a very flamboyant character.
He was very flowery.
Flowery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That'll
Yes.
work.
Leave that
That'll work.
alone.
Yes. Very flowery person.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So, as always, when we open up the show, we always like to give a little nod to our sponsor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that our sponsor is our guest on the show tonight.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Steve Toth from
Toth.
Toth Insurance Agency.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes, always
Cup.
making City Views look good. Word up. So we're going to be talking to him in just a little bit here and kind of just chewing the fat. You know what I mean? Because Steve has issues. I think we need to touch on a few.
No,
of those
not
issues.
Steve. I don't believe that.
Yeah, he
Not
does.
Steve.
He has issues. He has real issues. And if you ever see his Facebook posts,
Oh, I see it.
you know, I mean, he might have had a career as a comedian, might have, but for whatever reasons, things didn't quite work out. I don't know what happened. That don't sound too funny, does it? So we're going to be talking to him momentarily, and looking forward to that. Weekend in review. What was how was your weekend, Weebo?
Oh, my weekend. Friday went down to First Congregation Church. They had
Yep.
a concert down there for the youth
Yep.
ministry. Done that.
Yep.
And Sunday went down to see the Mets play the Dodgers. You mentioned Dodgers.
Yeah.
And the Mets lost, but it was,
Yeah.
yeah, I had tears in my eyes, but that's okay.
Tough one, man.
I got another hat.
Yeah. I feel your pain. Melissa, what was?
Oh, my life is just filled with being a dog mommy now.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to get home to my dog all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I've become one of those people.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
Well, no, yesterday was the 1 month anniversary that we've had her, and I made one photo video montage set to music, and then a video montage set to music in honor of our 1 month. So yeah, she's just blossoming. Her personality is coming out. She's just a wonderful little dog.
You need to
and-
kick Parker right out, right?
Yes, yes. There's no room in the bed for anybody but us.
Ooh. It's a PG-rated show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to let you know that. You have to excuse our guest, my co-host, from going off the proverbial trail every now and then. But let's keep it clean, folks, okay? Gee.
You got to bring Parker back here again.
No,
you don't wanna bring him
I
back
don't-
in?
Well, yeah, okay, I could bring Parker, but that means I'd have to do the Facebook page again.
But why would you want to put him through? Why would you want to put him through that?
Exactly, that's my whole point.
That's just
Poor Parker.
cruel and unusual punishment.
Where's your Parker? You still have your Parker?
I do.
Okay.
Wait a minute, hold on. There's no talking to guests off stage now. You know the rules. Gee. Guy comes in here, thinks he can just take over everything, man.
He's a man. He's
terrible.
A man.
Speaking of anniversaries, this is Melissa's 1 year anniversary on City Views.
Oh.
Coming up in October.
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was a year ago in September that you had contacted me, and we had a couple meetings. We discussed things, and then you guys just had me come and watch the show one evening backstage, check things out, and then he threw me in front of the camera the next week, and I sat here going, "Oh my gosh,
Feed-
what
feed
have
to
I
the
gotten
wolves, that's
myself into?"
Well,
And almost a year later, here we are.
there is an extensive search. Remember, Weebo?
Yep.
We put the word out.
Yep.
We bypassed the casting couch procedure, though. We went straight for the talent.
No.
So after some serious deliberation and numerous conversations with community members, we decided that Melissa would be the best fit for
Yeah.
what we're doing here on City Views.
Aww.
Yep. And we've been blessed with her talent and her presence ever since.
Well, shucks.
Yeah. And I think we're going to take this opportunity to showcase one of Melissa's talents, as well as her other pursuits. She is a very accomplished writer. And I was hoping that Melissa might be gracious enough to share one of her works with our audience.
Well, it came up very suddenly, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, will I have the courage to do this? And I think, why not? Absolutely, I'd be very happy to. It's very interesting. It's a descriptive narrative, so we've gone a little overboard in being descriptive, so we'll have a little fun with this. This actually gives everybody a glimpse into my life when I was about 3 years old. And it's titled Granny's Apartment. The gloaming mountains loomed past as we whizzed along the dark and winding country road that would eventually lead us to the bright lights of the big city. It was the early 1970s, and we were driving north from El Cajon, California, to my grandmother's apartment in downtown Los Angeles. My parents had just broken up, and my mother was heading to the security of my granny in her time of need. While I knew something unfortunate was happening, there was a sense of adventure in the air. Maybe not for my mother, but certainly for me. You see, my grandmother had recently moved to an amazing megaplex on Figueroa and 2nd Street called Bunker Hill Towers. The behemoth was a towering 19 stories high, and her suite was on the lofty 16th floor. The apartment was small. Coming into the compact front entry hall, the kitchen was to the immediate right. The hall then opened into a generous-sized living room with floor-to-ceiling windows framing the view of the celebrated Hollywood sign off in the distant hills where the rich and famous lived. The kitchen also opened up into the space via a tiled bar ready to be filled with friends and merriment. To the left of the entry was a smaller hall that led to the bedroom and bathroom. There was plenty of closet space, a view of the gated pool from every room. The pool. Several of Granny's apartments could fit into what was only 5 feet deep at its deepest in the very center, meaning little me could swim safely around the edges. I lived for this pool every day, and the mere mention of heading there was enough to make me giddy with excitement. Just off the pool was a pro shop, and beyond that, the swanky tennis courts. By the courts was a magnificent common area filled with grills and tables for residents to enjoy the perfect year-round weather only Southern California has to offer. The landscaping was lavish with fruit-bearing trees and hardy gardenia bushes dotting the vicinity. Seeing the fit, athletic residents cheerfully playing on the courts and enjoying the smell of food on the grill made for an idyllic setting. Nothing to cook? Not a problem. This complex also had a fully stocked grocery store and deli. All the meats, salads, and sodas you could imagine, as well as fried chicken and Italian-style sandwiches.
Chicken.
Need your prescriptions? They had that covered with a pharmacy supplied with everything you could need. Over-the-counter items, toiletries, as well as gifts for all ages. There was also a gym outfitted with all the newest equipment and a sauna as well. And all of this was overseen by the friendly guys in the security department. Granny's new home was phenomenal, and I was excited to be there. Down at the plaza, 16 floors below, the sound of the unrelenting fountain began to lull me to sleep. My weary eyes settled on the shapes that the city lights created from the tops of the drawn curtains. The glow came to life as it stretched across the ceiling in a rhythmic fashion, as if peculiar abstract people were dancing to the music of the fountain. I am safe. I am secure. I am home.
You are bad.
Thanks. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that.
I like you say with the chicken part. That was.
Yeah.
I was more
That's
excited. I was more excited
how
about
I
that.
became a fried chicken nut. From the time I was a child, I had all the fried chicken I could ever want.
Yeah. Figures that's all that you would get from that. Very, very deliberate piece of work there.
Well, it was a descriptive assignment, so
Yes.
yeah. it
Very
was a lot
nice.
of fun. Thank you.
Now, I do want to take this opportunity to let people know about an event that happens the first Sunday of every month in Torrington at the Nolke Gallery entitled Speakeasy. Pat Martin, Patricia Martin, a colleague of ours at WAPJ. She runs that. And I suggested to Melissa that, you take a little trip down there because the level of your writing skills would definitely extend itself to the audience there.
Thank you.
I think you would definitely fit in well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. I appreciate it.
Nice stuff. See, and this is what City Views is all about. The origination of the show was from Tim Driscoll, and he wanted to create a forum so that people could get the latest information on issues that were coming out of the City Council for the City of Torrington. And as things have transpired over the years, now we want to continue that tradition, but we also want to include what we feel is becoming an even bigger component of the Torrington community and the region, and that's the arts and culture. And activities and programs such as Speakeasy allow artists and musicians and people like yourself, Melissa, to get out there and strut their stuff.
And it's so important. The arts is something, being the daughter of an artist, I've strongly encouraged people, if you feel like doing a painting, go and paint that painting. Don't wait for tomorrow, get that creative energy out. It's important, it feeds the soul.
And it's one thing that we can use to help us deal with some of the other challenges that we face, on a daily basis, especially when we're dealing with public policy. And it all kind of intertwines and connects at some point when we realize what the essence of community is all about.
And it's therapeutic, very therapeutic.
Absolutely it is.
So get that creative energy needs to go somewhere. Don't let it just sit inside and become this uncomfortable frequency. Get it out.
Absolutely. And that's the process that we want to use too in regards to engaging our audience into the show, because it's all about exchange and communication. And once that we can open up those lines of communication, then we can do things to improve our community and enhance public policy.
And especially communication, that's number one. That's real big.
Absolutely it is. So with that being said,
you got new sneakers, Jog. Look at you.
Pardon me.
You got new sneakers. Look at you.
They ain't new.
Ain't new. Look good, brother.
Don't be trying to fool anybody up there, Weibo. I'm a man of modest means. So, nonetheless, we're going to prepare for our special guest this evening.
Is he special?
Yes, he is. It's our sponsor. So we're going to have Steve on here momentarily. In the meantime, this will give you an opportunity to call all your friends, call all your neighbors, and let them know that City Views is coming at you on your local cable access channel, Altice 5. We'll be right back with Steve Toth from Toth Insurance Agency right after this.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan,
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
downtown,
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
The pain will not control us. It will never break us, define us, or keep us still. Because arthritis can't beat us if we beat it first. In the fight against arthritis, you need a weapon. What's yours? Visit the Arthritis Foundation at fightarthritispain.org.
Welcome to Fogels.
beautiful, isn't it?
You expect options everywhere else. Why not with your medical treatment? Talk with your doctor to explore all your options and find what's right for you. Visit ahrq.gov.
Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. Go to discovertheforest.org.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down, people, okay? These guys get together, they just do not know how to act. I'll try my best to make sure that, that we have an intelligible interview. I'll keep my fingers crossed on that. Now you guys behave.
All right.
Just because the big boss is around,
he's here.
don't mean
He's here. The boss
yeah.
is here.
So very proud to bring to you tonight as our special guest on City Views, our sponsor, our friend, our mentor, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Toth. Steve, welcome.
Hi. What's up, Jack? Nice to see you, bud.
Man. It's been a while.
It has.
I like your tan, though.
I don't know what you're looking at, but when I look in the mirror, I see a ghost. I need to get to Miami more often.
He has some color in his glasses.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, you're like traveling all over the world, doing this, doing that. You know, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say all over the world, but next week I have Taiwan, and the week after that Egypt, and then we're going over to Luxembourg.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You didn't pick up the sarcasm in this?
I believe it.
No, the only traveling I do is from my office to my house, about 7 times a week.
Oh, okay.
No, but
that's 14, really, isn't it though?
7 each way.
Oh, 7 each way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you being in numbers, man, you definitely break that down and
yeah,
you know, to its lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm sure that's probably one of your processes that you incorporate on a daily basis.
It is. It is. When I'm going to sleep at night, I'm thinking about how I can, you know, mathematically, you know, make my drive to and from work, you know, interesting to people.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, that I try to find the easiest routes and MapQuest and all that.
Man,
you know,
I feel your pain.
That's my excitement, man.
Yeah.
It's like 10.3 miles one day and like 10.7 the next, and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
What did I do wrong today?
Yeah, I can dig it,
it was
man.
that detour.
Yeah.
You do know we're live.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. It's about that time. So,
good one. You're getting. I mean, you're getting good at this stuff, man.
Hey, it's what I do, man.
Yeah. So, Steve, we could talk about a myriad of things tonight.
Not insurance. I'm sick of that. No, I'm kidding. I love my business.
No insurance tonight.
Yeah.
Next
That's all I
time.
do all day for, you know, we'll just air it out and just have all things Torrington and Litchfield County conversation. And,
well, I mean, but let's talk about this for a little bit because you not only sponsor the show, but you know, you're a part of the organizing and planning of the show.
Yeah, do my best. Don't give me too much credit there. You guys are, this one especially, all of you. I mean, you do so much work. A lot of people out there probably aren't aware of behind the scenes and to get the show ready and to get, you know, the viewership, and, you know, it's a lot of work. But yeah, I mean, I try, you know, to do whatever I can to help, and I think it's a step. You know, this show is going somewhere, you know, special, and I think you know, you all should, you know, give yourselves a pat on the back for the, you know, what you've done to in the last year to get the word out and spread the, you know, the word about City Views and how we can, you know, grow together as a community and et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I think it's important, you know, as a sponsor that you know, you not only, you know, understand what our mission is and what we're trying to do, but you also contribute to that, and I think we want that interaction to take place because I think we feel very strongly in the fact that we do want to make sure that through promoting of the show, we highlight those people, places, and businesses and activities that make Torrington what it is. And you have always been a community guy, supporting the community in many different ways and in many different aspects. So that's part of the brand and the image that we want to build with the show. And you coming back here with us, for year 2, really helps us put the show in a position where we can grow and expand with the community in mind.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And I mean, I see the direction the show is going, and a lot of positive, feedback that I hear from the community and people wanting, I'm constantly asked, oh, can I ask Jack or whatever? Can I get on the show? Can I? It's a great platform for businesses, of course, but also community, activists or public officials or whatever. It's just anybody that really, wants to share their thoughts about the town. We don't want to be a sounding board for all things negative and get overly political and all that. And that's not the goal here. But it's to, I think just enlighten people about the things that are going on in the community and how to help and the community grow and
Exactly. It's like having a one-stop shop for the information.
Yeah.
A place where you can go and get the information organized.
Yeah, and most people don't know what's going on a day-to-day basis if they're not, really actively looking for it. They just, especially with town government or whatever. I mean, if they're not overly involved, they're not going to know. And here, I think it's a good place for people to at least tune in to get somewhat of an idea of what's happening. And it's public access is a great thing for this town and any town for that matter, but for us to hear what's going on locally, and I'm excited to be a sponsor for the second year. I see you guys are wonderful people and have a lot of creative just I don't know, I'm not as good with words as you are, Jock, but I mean the energy that I see is exorbitant. I see what Weibo does, and he's just out in the community, and he's so cheery and happy, and how can you not like this guy? And then Melissa over here is she's just a technical genius with all the the video and this and that. I still have no in my 40s, and I give my phone to my son to figure out 16 years. I'm like, what happened?
Don't need a 4-year-old to figure out our technology.
I know. When you're over 40, I mean, you really have to work at it to become efficient, I think, in a lot of things, in the IT department. But you do a great job in putting together the shows, and everybody, is excited to.
Yeah, because everybody doing their part.
They're doing their part, and it has to be a collective effort in order for us all to see growth, and I see you guys doing that, and I think we have a call.
And one of the things that with our group, I don't know if a lot of the people who are viewing, we each wear more than one hat too.
Yes, you have to. It's
we're not just here behind the scenes doing this.
I ain't wearing no Mets hat, okay? Sorry.
I would
Sorry,
be wearing a Dodgers hat.
Yeah.
Or actually, I would be wearing a wide-brimmed hat that would be a little bit on the floppy side, so that if I were out in the sunshine, fashion.
Yeah, that's a good hat.
Are we getting a phone call?
We are getting a phone call. We just missed the call.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure exactly why we missed the call, but hopefully Michelle will call back.
Is that her?
because it's her
There
segment.
it comes in.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we're getting called.
What's
and it'd be
cooking?
nice.
Or
What was cooking, man? What's cooking? You know. Now, Steve, I got to ask you, because social media is playing a bigger role in all of our lives, and I think for the most part, people are starting to understand that you can actually be positive on social media.
Who would have thunk it?
I think I've mastered the art of being positive on social media.
Well, plus it's it's like with text and all that, you can't really read tone with how somebody's coming across. But social media is a great platform for people to communicate. But it has taken a bit of a hit over the last few years with all the complaining and negativity. I mean, I kind of take a break, from time to time.
But I want to talk about.
But the good stuff is where we need to focus on more. I mean, just enlightening, people.
But who's your
and making
writer,
them happy.
Steve? Please.
Oh, with my jokes?
Yeah, who's your writer? That's what I was getting at. All right.
I can't tell you, Jock. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Because
I don't wanna do that.
it's almost like you have like a what do they call those things when you have a personality or a profile that it's not you.
An alter ego.
An alter.
No,
it's like you go behind this curtain and you go into your social media room and you turn it.
Well, it's funny.
I'm like, why? Where is this guy coming from?
I'm going to explain this, and it's funny that you say that. Now that everybody that sees me on social media and wonders where's all the. Well, here's how it goes. Okay. As you mentioned, the positive and negative of social media. I mean, you scroll through, and after a while, seeing all the negative and all the drama and all the complaining, I'm not one to. I'm more of a half full, cup half full, happy-go-lucky. And when I see all the, I'm just. So I try to just kind of keep things neutral.
Right.
Plus, I'm a business owner in town. I don't want to, just throw my
You don't wanna be in
politics
the
at
middle.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be in the middle.
I just try to keep everything, neutral. And what better way to do that than try to make people laugh with these stupid jokes? I mean, I've always had a sense of humor. I like to tell jokes. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, today was horrible, and I just did this, and the doctor said that I might not get better for 3 days, and my cat and my dog and my uncle, my father, my I mean, everybody has problems, and I get that. And, not to take away from anybody's personal situation. We all have, but I've never been one to just kind of air it out on publicly. I just feel I'm more of a private.
Well,
so I mean, just kind of throwing the jokes out there is where I just feel it's a neutral. It's like my mother. She's she just posts pictures of animals.
Aww.
And we love animals in our favorite, but she's the same way. She's like and just how can you go wrong with posting a picture of a cute
Something
dog
cuddly and sweet and cheerful.
Everybody gets triggered so easily. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stay. This is. I don't have time nor the energy to get into these.
Well, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, absolutely. I need all the suggestions.
Now that you have this pseudo personality and whatnot, I want to suggest that you hook up with your other alter ego, the other sibling, and that you two become the next version of the social media of Donnie and Marie.
God.
Okay.
My sister Kelly.
Kelly, the Kelly and Steve show.
Yeah.
I think, who knows?
I don't know. I mean, when we're together, she's actually in Connecticut right now. She's, lived in Florida the last couple of years, but she's up visiting, and so she stopped at the office today. And I mean, it's just when we're, we've always kind of been, kind of a funny pair when we get together, just kind of with the puns and the wit. And
that's an understatement. You two are like, and I didn't even know initially Kelly was, just to show you how social media works sometimes, because people are connected and you don't.
Well, different last names.
Different last name, and I so I'm like, over here, and Kelly, like, hi.
And then you put it all together and you're like, that makes so much sense.
You recently posted a picture with her.
Did I? Yeah, probably.
I don't know where you guys were, but somehow I became friends with her, probably because of being on the show, and I connected that they were brother and sister right away.
You did?
I don't know why.
Yeah. I did.
Because people send me friend requests, and I look at the friends in common, and we only had one, I think, and that was you. And then I was like, well, what's going on? And then you were brother and sister.
Yeah,
so.
she does that.
Oh, what's going on? That's. Where did you get that hand gesture from? I've never seen that before.
These are my main thing.
The last name of my family. They're called Jolly, Jolly, and these are the Jolly Swami hands.
Oh, don't do that again, okay?
It's almost like a Hawaiian
dance or something. You kind of freaked me out there, Melissa. I wasn't expecting.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses and our odd talents.
That wasn't in the show notes. Okay.
I know. Once the hula comes out,
Yeah,
that's when we got to
yeah.
Oh
change
my
the
gosh,
next
I
time.
can't wait. I can't wait to hula. I gotta learn hula.
Are you going to do hula?
The hooping.
Really?
Yeah, there
On-
was
on
this
stage?
one of the hikers that we had stay with us. She's
Yeah.
a hula hooper. It was amazing. She moved in these. I mean, like my hands were rhythmic. Her body moved that way, and this hula hoop went up and down. It was amazing.
Wow.
I didn't know it was such a talent.
Wow.
Yeah.
really cool.
Then there's this woman called Rachel Lust. Look her up. She's phenomenal. Hula hooper. She wears superhero leggings while she's hula hooping. It's really cute.
Superhero leggings
Yeah.
while she's hula hooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Like in a superhero.
Like Parker.
I didn't know. I didn't know superhero had leggings.
Oh, when you said hula, you guys were probably talking about the Hawaiian luau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
went to hula hooping.
Yeah, I was wondering how this got into hula hooping, but no, I outside of the name. No, that's cool. I get it.
Okay, now
All right, I was just listening to the conversation because it was cool, but
And you
I
were
kind of
great.
got
You're like,
lost.
I'm just going with it. She's gone that way. I'm going with her.
I'm thinking that the hula girls. I
I think this is the time in the show where I should probably give a disclaimer and let anyone who's viewing the show at this time understand that we don't have a specific topic tonight. And we're not always this kind of discombobulated,
Well, we're being a little foolish tonight, that's for sure.
for lack of a better word. However, I guess part of it is that we're just so tickled pink to have our sponsor on with us tonight.
Got Steve, the man.
So
Steve, the man. Steve.
maybe that's why we're
Wonder
kind
Twin
of
powers activate.
a little more jovial than what we would normally be. But you guys can still call in the show. The number's right there if you have a question for us, something that you want to ask us, or comment that you might want to share with our viewing audience. Please take the opportunity to do this. We're on until 8:30, so that gives you plenty of
AM or
time.
PM?
That would be PM, Weibo. On the
think,
PM side.
I think we have Michelle calling in now.
Tell Cook.
If Rob will answer the phone, I think he will.
Doug?
Doug, excuse me.
Oh.
It's not?
Can you answer it?
Let's see if we can answer it here.
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Doug?
It's Jacques. Hello.
I've been trying to call on the other number and I'm getting nowhere. How are you guys?
We're doing.
We were having a bit of technical difficulty, but we're good.
It's one of those nights, Michelle.
Oh, good. I don't feel so bad then. I've been trying to get through for 15 minutes.
I saw you. I saw you call in. I felt your pain, but I didn't know exactly how to remedy the situation. So, as fate would have it, you, with your stick-to-itiveness that you do possess, you stayed on it, you persevered, and you broke through.
And we succeeded.
Everybody.
Good job, Michelle. Michelle Cook.
Stick-to-itivity.
The
So,
stick-to-itiveness.
Michelle, what's
sir.
cooking?
Well, obviously, the phone lines aren't working right, so that's not cooking very well.
Now, hold up for a minute now. Oh, never
But
mind.
we're getting there.
Yeah, okay. Continue.
Oh, my goodness. So, I think that this is actually a perfect time to alleviate some stress for any of the listeners that we have. Obviously there's a big panic about this far overreaching 1% tax on prepared foods that seems to be hitting the line right now. And I'm not sure if you all are following that or if you have been aware
Yes,
of that.
I was going to ask you, but you beat me to the punch.
All right, well, good. So then let me go a little deeper and to express to you that I believe that the commissioner had far-reached a misinterpretation of any type of bill language that was put forward.
Yes.
So we as a Democratic caucus, myself specifically, our leadership, I know Representative Quam have drafted a letter to the commissioner asking for a review of their interpretation of this tax, and that we do not believe that this was its intention, and we do not believe that it is just. I have put a post up on my page as a copy of the letter with my signature. So, if anybody questions any of that, they're more than welcome to check. If they'd like a copy, they can call me. We're hoping that there's some resolve to this because this is definitely much more far-reaching than what any intention were to be for any of us, by the way. So, this is ridiculous. So.
Michelle, this is Steve. Can you explain what that tax is again, so just so everybody's aware of what you're referring to?
So the commissioner had implemented a 1% tax on all prepared foods.
Okay.
My understanding was that the tax was supposed to be on, I hate using the word because I don't think that's what it was, but like a sin tax on like sugary items. Like maybe a 1% tax on a donut. That would be a prepared, non-healthy, non-necessity food item. Mm-hmm. Not if you went into the grocery store and bought a roaster chicken.
Okay.
Because chicken's healthy.
Right. So I think that the interpretation has just been grossly misinterpreted by the commissioner. And so what we're saying is, look, we don't tax a lot of groceries. And those things that you do tax are things that are non-necessity items in most cases. And so in this regard, I believe somebody said, well, why are we taxing, cut up prepared lettuce? I would agree with you. Why are we taxing lettuce that is washed and cut up and prepared for you as opposed to, going into a fast food restaurant kind of thing? So the interpretation is being reviewed. I'm hoping that they retract it and we can put some of this past us, but it is a little bit bizarre what has happened, unbeknownst to us, by the way. So we learned when you all learned.
Well, I think some of the taxes that are coming down the pike are concerning people, Michelle, especially restaurants, with the new taxes that are going to be placed on them, plus the minimum wage increases. What kind of feedback have you gotten from those constituents?
I would say as far as minimum wage, I haven't gotten much. I mean, short of from the people that are truly going to benefit it, and quite frankly, those are also the folks that are putting that money back into the economy anyway. So people that are earning a minimum wage, not even a living wage, those are also the folks that are trying to survive and put food on their table and, pay their bills, and most of them are raising families and working 2 or 3 jobs. Those folks have been extremely appreciative of the fact that we recognize that nobody could work at a wage of $10 an hour. And so, but quite frankly, you also have to remember that doesn't go into effect until 2023.
Yeah.
So this is far outreaching. This is not today. This is not tomorrow. This gives people the opportunity to plan. Businesses, I heard from a few businesses, not an exuberant amount. And you know what? Quite frankly, we find that a lot of businesses are doing this stand-up thing. They're paying that wage because they know that people can't survive on $10 an hour. I think what breaks my heart is the people that really deserve that raise to go into effect are those that are caregiving for our loved ones in the nursing homes. They're doing that grunt work, labor. They're your CNAs, they're your janitorial staff. They're working for minimal wage and doing very difficult work. And so, for me, I believe those folks, not that everybody doesn't deserve more money, but I believe those folks we really have to pay attention to because they're taking care of us when we can't take care of ourselves. So this goes kind of back and forth, and this is an ongoing conversation, but the full-blown $15 an hour, you're not going to see well until, 2022, so we've got 3 years before that goes into true effect.
Wasn't that like a step increase over the next few years, I thought, or am I...
Absolutely. It's little increments over the next few years. And, there are many businesses that I spoke to that said, I'm not opposed to this going into effect. And quite frankly, I would rather know that it's going into effect in the outlying year so I can prepare as opposed to each year I get threatened with some change.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
now, don't get me wrong. There are going to be people that we are never going to make happy. You're not going to make them happy that we gave them years. We're not going to make them happy that we do it at all. And
you never will in politics.
And that's what I was just going to say. That's going to be something that, far beyond me walking out, away from this office and many people to hold the office after that, you're just not going to please all of the people all of the time.
Now, Michelle, I have heard some pushback in regards to the perception that the Dems in the House are just nickel and diming the state to death because they're so desperate to increase their revenues. Can you address some of the issues that that we're going to be facing? For example, now that we have the plastic bag issue and the payment for that, I'm under the impression that it's causing a deficit now that wasn't accounted for of some $27 million in regards to the production of plastic bags.
So I would offer you a couple of things. One, don't listen to all the rhetoric because you already know that it's all subject to interpretation. Number two, the state has a very large surplus, a larger one than we have had for many, many years in the past. As far as the plastic bag issue, so I, like everybody else, if I choose to go in there and buy a plastic bag for 10 cents, that is my choice, but I don't have to do that. But I do think that this plastic bag conversation is far greater than the 10 cents. And I don't know how much anybody else is following this, but our national news channels are hitting this almost every day on the fact that our climate is changing. And if we continue to put the plastics into our earth will not be there for our great-great-great-grandchildren as we know it today. So when you talk about the reason why the plastic bag became implemented was truly not about the revenue as much as what about the environment.
But
so
the unintended consequence of that now, though, is that there's a revenue loss because of that, correct?
But
I have not been given a revenue loss because of that. So if you've read that somewhere, I haven't seen it. And like I said, and I will tell you that we are running in a surplus. We have, not that we're spending it, but we're not in as bad of a place as what we were, the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
And this will probably get emails to me in my inbox tomorrow, but I offer you that a little bit of revenue loss worth saving my planet might be worth it.
Oh, well, there's no doubt about that. However, I'm talking perceptions, Michelle, because what oftentimes I find is that until we actually find out what the positions from the House and the Senate are, it's all speculation. And a lot of people are, myself included at times, are dealing with misinformation.
Well, and I would say this, right? So the plastic bag bill, that law didn't go into effect until a month ago, right? In August.
August 1st.
So it would be ludicrous to think that we were going to get $27 million out of a 10-cent tax in a month. I think that the whatever's being put out there that we've lost $27 million already in a month might be a little bit extreme, when truly this plastic bag bill did not start until the 1st of August.
Okay.
So we've only been dealing with this for just over a month.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I'm saying? There's no way for us to give a complete projection, revenue gain or loss, until your years are up.
Right.
So if we want to say, all right, so from August 1st of 2019 to August 1st of 2020, we lost whatever that was in the plastic bag bill, then I think that in 2020 we had that conversation. But right now I think that that's extremely premature to say that we've lost all of that money when we're only talking about maybe 35 days into this.
Right. I mean, we would need at least a year to really quantitatively measure what kind of increase or decrease you'd see. I mean, it's way too early to speculate on any of that. I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and at the end of the day, we all need a little bit of push and shove to do our part.
Well, that's.
And,
I was just
you
going
know.
to say that's why it's very important that we keep this particular segment going, because we want to make sure that our viewing audience is getting the correct information, because there is so much misinformation out there. And the one thing that I will always appreciate about you, Michelle, is the fact that you'll give it to us straight. And I think it bodes well for our friendship, because there are many times when I might view things one way based on information that I received on one hand, and you will help me to kind of clarify that issue based on what is really going on. So I, for one, appreciate that. Not that we agree on everything, but at least I know where the issues, where the real issues lie. And I think that's very important, so that we can be more educated in terms of promoting more effective public policy.
Well, and at the end of the day, if we agreed on everything, then we would be a pretty boring place.
Pretty much.
And that's, and I think that it bodes well for us to have good, honest conversation.
Exactly.
Now, we're not all going to like it. I was the first person to tell you, I was not jumping down for this plastic bag ban.
Right.
Thinking, oh, this is an inconvenience. Oh, my gosh, what are we doing? I can't believe, And I'm also the one that becomes rather absent-minded and realize I have recyclable bags in my car and I forget them every time I walk into the store. But at
Me
the
too.
same time, I do. Right, but at the same time, I know I can still ask for paper. And I know that it's still my choice whether I want to, spend the 10 cents or not.
Right. Right.
And it's ironic. It's truly ironic, the amount of people that say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm being charged 10 cents."
Well, and then on top of that, are we not increasing sales in the small bin plastic bag business? I know that I've used my plastic bags from grocery shopping to line my small bins in the bathroom, in my bedroom.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I have to go buy small trash bags to fill those bins.
Yeah.
So are we not driving up a market somewhere else? Says Swan.
Right, and that's what I think, Lisa, you make a good point, and I think that that's the whole point, right? This is all subject to what you believe it means to you personally. People believe, you know what, oh, well, it's my planet to live in and do with what I want. And that's their choice. And other people believe that it's their planet and they want to save it and make it as healthy as possible. And that is their choice.
Well, let's
and
while
then
we're on
somehow
it,
you have to figure out in the middle where we can do what's right.
Amen to that, sister. It's not about right versus left. It's about right versus wrong, honey.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Can I get a...
You can get it.
Woo, woo, woo. I think a little bit more of a fun fact tonight.
Yes.
Or, on Thursday, not tonight, but Thursday, September 19th.
Yes.
19 minutes and 19 seconds past 9 will be 9:19, 9:19.
I knew it.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, it's the palindrome week, isn't it? Where every day was.
Isn't it bizarre?
Every day was the same from 9:10 to 9:19 is the same backwards and forwards. It's palindromes.
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 Wasn't that one of those special editions on Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Aren't there whole books written that way? Aren't there whole books written that way? Are the books called that way? Where it's
it's just any
like a word like race car.
We live in a place that is absolutely gorgeous.
That's the letter version of palindrome.
Just the miraculous component of what is there, and that's kind of why I bring up the 9/19/19. 19.
Yes.
But there are things that happen that none of us realize. This past Friday night, we had Friday the 13th and the largest harvest moon that I've ever seen.
Did you see that? Oh my God.
It was pretty big.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And we were actually driving back from New Hampshire because our oldest daughter, is getting married in New Hampshire in November. So we went up to do some things, and so we're driving back, and this moon was just off the chart amazing. And obviously in New Hampshire, you know, you're seeing it through the mountains, and it's just breathtaking. And I'm talking to you all on my back porch, and we're discussing things that are greatly important. And I hope that when you all walk out, and when people stop listening to us, because we know there's thousands of people listening to us, they take a minute and walk outside.
I actually saw the man on the moon. He winked at me.
Aww.
He winked at
See?
me. Yeah, it was so close. I saw him.
Well,
I mean, we
I'm going to start singing my
just
moon
need to
song.
take a step back from all of our arguments and truly appreciate what we have.
I agree.
And then the rest of it's not as complicated.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. Well, Michelle, we can't thank you enough for your contributions to the show.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Michelle.
and I'm sorry for my 20-minute delay.
No, that was our fault.
You're worth it.
Yo, now we do want to see if we can't rearrange the call-in so you can call in earlier during the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. So you and I can discuss that offline, and we'll figure out a great time. If you want 7:45, then we'll shoot for that.
Okay.
Just let me know what you want to do.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you, mucho.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a wonderful evening, and look at the stars.
Give our best to the
Yes.
family.
Okay.
I will. Thank
All right.
you. Have a great night, guys.
Yep.
You too.
All right.
Is that AM
Bye.
or PM?
I have no idea. What are we in right now? We're in PM right now, right?
I think we're.
Been a
I
long
think we're
day.
3 minutes from the show going.
Yeah, I think we're in the 7th moon of Aquarius.
Yes.
What we are right now.
Yeah.
It is in the 7th house.
Oh my gosh.
And
And
Jupiter aligns with
Since the
Mars.
dawning of the age of Aquarius.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Well, we are a team.
Yeah.
You know when Steve gets
Parker
on the
and
show.
Parker.
Parker and Parker.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even quite know how to explain what we've experienced here tonight. It's just one of those things. It's live television, ladies and gentlemen. It happens. It is what it is.
God bless you for saying that, because it is.
Yes.
It just
Yes.
is.
Yes.
We always have a good time.
Yes.
Yeah. But we also touch on some very important topics, which are needed to do, but we also have to have a good time.
That's right.
Life is short. Have fun.
Yeah.
So, Steve, thank you so much for hanging
Thanks,
out with
Steve.
us.
Thanks,
We
man, for the
appreciate that,
invite.
bro.
Thanks for the invite.
You
It's
man,
been
Steve.
a lot of fun, as usual. Keep doing a good job.
Thank
Wonder
you. We
Twin
will.
powers.
Definitely will. And Daniel, thank you for tonight, because we know it was really difficult on you doing the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live, but we're just trying to work out the kinks. So we
Yeah,
can
thanks
have-
for watching the Facebook Live.
So we
Those
can
who are
have
on
people-
Facebook Live, thank you for watching.
Yep. So we want to make sure that people that can't necessarily access the show on Tuesday nights, that they have other opportunities to do so. So thanks again. We
We're
appreciate
working
it.
out those kinks.
That's right. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time, but we'll see you back next week. And remember, if it's happening in the city of Torrington or anywhere in the region, you can catch it on City Views. On behalf of my co-host and our special guest tonight, Steve Toth, have a great week, and we'll see you back for more City Views.
City Views.
It's about that time.
City Views, City Views,
What's happening in your city?
City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views,
You got love for your city?
City Views.